We'll call the meeting of the January Delaware County Regional Wastewater to order. Roll call, Penny.
Keith,
Yes.
Josh.
Present.
Yes. See what happens when I'm just gone for a couple weeks? Bill.
Yes. Here. 6 and 7. All right. We're short too, but first order of business is election of officers.
I make the motion to retain the officers from the previous year. Second.
I have a motion, first and second. Is there any discussion? All I will do is I know me, Ray, and then where's it go from there?
Me.
Bill?
Treasurer,
I knew Pete. I'm the secretary. That's what I thought it was, Joe.
I'm gonna write this down.
I know, and that's why I'm doing it, because we always say that, and I'm the one that loses it.
the easy way.
Ray, Joe.
All right.
Yep. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion approved. Minutes from the previous meeting, December 6, 2023. You all had a chance to look at them? I'd entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the minutes from December 6th.
I'll make a motion to second it.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion or changes? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pete, since you're back, please, sir.
Yeah. Claims from November 30th, 2023 through December 29th, 2023 totaling $209,217.46. Account balances as of December 29th, 2023. Penny, way to go. We got 420,000 in the cash operating balance. Just like we have every other month since I've been on the board. Improvement fund balance, $2,176,948.56. There was a transfer, from the Daleville TIF of $9,411. And somebody will need to remind
Indiana
me.
Bond Bank.
No, that's right, the Indiana Bond Bank transfer, and that was for the Royerton project, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And so I would make the motion to approve the claims in the amount of $209,217.46. I second that.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Old business. Jason, you want to bring us up to speed on the CD?
Me and Penny was able to go down to the, Old National and get that, CD purchased. We were able to secure it for 5 months. I know the board spoke about possibly doing a lower, and once we got down there and explained to what we had going on and some of the other opportunities down there, we got 5 months at 5.41%. And then I know we talked about doing a 6-month rotation, so once that 5 months hit and we get that back, we'll start again and have that conversation again. So,
And we did that with, half,
500K.
500K.
So that's been taken care of.
And I'm just curious, did you figure what will we return, what will be our return on that for 5 months? I'm gonna get Joe going here in a minute.
Yeah.
Because if we're going right now, and the reason I say, just that, if we've got the capital outlay projects, we know what we've got in the budget, and we're setting on 2.1, why wouldn't we do another, if we're gonna do 500,000, why wouldn't we do another 500,000 behind and have a stair step to roll every 5 months while the rate is up before it goes down?
Should we do like 100,000 for the next 5 months, 100,000 per month? And that way we've always got the availability to, if we need that 100,000 as it's falling off, and we can, and we're still achieving that.
I'm asking the board for, we have, when the worm turns, and we're in charge right now.
Yeah.
And I would like to capitalize on all that we could get back for our customers with this in a right way. And that's why I said, I'm with you, and I'm looking towards Joe on this too, because she's in business. I mean, I just think that we can capture right now until the Fed starts to drop this rate. We need to capture what we can.
Or do we do like?
I'd like to know too, if we do only 100,000, is the rate gonna drop on it?
Right on, if it was anything over 100,000.
We'll stay at 5.41 for today's rate.
Today's, well, actually, I'm gonna say today's, when we secured it on, December the 8th.
And that's why, the
I
rate was
can-
higher at 5 months than it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was that rate was the decimal.
Right, because of the,
it was even better than, 4 or 6. 5 months was that lock-in point right there.
Yeah.
So what I could also do is, if you guys wanna, look at it and see what it is for the 100,000 or,
Good.
Pete was saying something else over here too.
Yeah, so I got another idea, same concept, so instead of just doing 100,000 this month and 100,000 next month, why don't we take, because the rate's gonna be variable, we take 400,000 and do 4 months, 100,000 per month, or just so that we're getting ourselves
Thinking
into
over.
that. So do 400,000 for a month, do 100,000 for 5 months. And then next month, when that one comes due, 300,000 for
I
4
see what you're
months.
saying.
I wanna step it,
200.
ultimately, what I'm trying to do is step it down. It's so that we've always got,
And see, what I'm trying, and I think what I'm trying to do is
Yeah.
come up a ladder.
Yeah.
We need a ladder.
right,
Is this, and how to get to the most efficient one right now, I guess, is
yeah,
the
what I'm
question I
trying to
want.
do is so that we always have some coming available to us monthly.
We're renewing one, one's dropping off. That way you're always staying in the game. And we can stop the renewal
Right.
once it starts to go down. We know it's coming back and we can take it.
Yeah.
What we need to decide is between here, why don't we, Jason, why don't you look into the bank, what we could do at a month, 1 month and the 5 months where the best is, and then shoot the board an email. Let's start to have an email conversation. With that said, if we come up with numbers in there, do we want to do something to put something on? I'm not trying to push it, but I'm just saying, do we want to wait till February's meeting? Or we all know what we've been told, it's going to drop. So I'm seeing if we want to react.
Lock in.
Yeah, I would,
If it's better than 5 and
Yeah, I
a
don't
quarter or something,
I
or,
don't even think it has to be better than 5 1/4. I mean, right now, anything
It's better.
better than 3 is
I was going to say, if it's,
better than.
yeah.
we're
It's not
gonna-
doing anything for us right now.
No,
Sitting here, so
exactly.
we're not making anything
Right,
for
so-
people.
So I'm of the opinion that we give him the latitude to do it. I think the real question is how much do we want to invest? And can we come up with that plan of what that ladder looks like? And with that being said, I think that, and I'm gonna look at our attorney. If we make the motion to give him the authority to invest up to X amount with some kind of fiscal plan that allows for a ladder, does it need to be stated any other way than that?
I would like to see, approval by at least the board president. Give Jason the authority to do the deal, but it has to be approved by the minimum of the board president, and possibly the attorney, or majority of the board.
Well,
It's just a
can
lot of-
we, why don't we,
I trust you 100%. I don't want to be thinking that.
but no, and everybody wants a safety check, everybody wants a check valve, because we're playing with a lot of money here, and we want to make sure that we take care of it properly. Can we,
How do we word the motion so that it's, well, I mean,
can we not ratify this in an email amongst us afterwards?
well, I'm gonna have to set something, because one of the questions they asked is when was this approved by the board?
Right.
So I'm gonna need like a date, today's date to accomplish this, even if it is,
is 500 our number?
That's what,
Well,
I would think we were,
Pick a number, can we, I mean,
Yeah,
I think we're,
we give him approval up to 500,000 to
To do
do
it.
it with consent of the board president. I don't need to go in, right?
no.
They're gonna, so, yeah, with consent of the board president, then, and with the clause being that there is, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, or maybe it's 4, I don't, however we set that ladder up.
when we give him an approval to amount up to establish a new ladder at the bank, pending the president's, and with the president's approval, what I would like, Joe, if you'll help, if you'll look into some ideas of ladders and work with Jason as far as what, or look at it, at what you might, as dollar amounts, you two,
Yeah, I mean,
both of you are there?
He would love to.
No, I mean, and that way
I want
it's,
Pete to work.
Huh?
I want Pete to work.
well, my guy's up here, he's drawing a check from us, he might as well work. Okay, let's,
I think that's
You
a
good
good
with that?
idea. Will, the proof for the bank, will, today's minutes giving you that authority, will that work for the bank if Penny can
I just
show
need-
it from the minutes or
we
not?
When we did this, she just asked for that date it was approved through the board, she didn't ask for.
So
the
you'll
date
have-
and
you'll have
everything,
today's date.
so I just need a date.
You wanna make the motion, Pete?
yeah, I whatever, so the motion is, to give Jason the responsibility to come up with a fiscal plan to invest $500,000 with a ladder system that is approved by the board presidents
Up to 500K.
up to 500K. Is 500 our number? I mean, is more, less,
I'm good.
600?
To me, my opinion, we're sitting on 2.1. I think we can invest $1 million carefully, keep walking it back and forth with the ladder system. That leaves us 1.2 million right now that we have access to, plus the 420,000. Am I correct in that number?
Well, if we're gonna have some coming due every month, because that's this ladder system that we're talking about, why not go,
I was one,
I mean, nothing is going to take place that we're going to approve anything in the middle of the month to spend $1.5 million.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, if it is,
you're saying
I've been doing things wrong all my life. I don't know what he just
Hey,
said.
wait a
I'm
minute,
not
wait a
gonna.
hey,
Gotta listen. I'm,
no, the best comment came over here. Joe looks over and goes, he ain't married to me. It was the best. No, that's a
mean,
discussion for the board. Where does the board,
if we go to even if we went to $1 million and we say we were gonna do $200,000 a month, that's gonna have 200,000 coming off, and we'd still have 1.1 million. So we'd be at like 1.3 every month availability.
I think if you do $1 million and at the end of the day, we give Bill and final discretion for approval, that we have you two involved in it, that covers our bases on the high side, and we don't have to do $1 million, up to $1 million.
up to him, yeah, you guys look at the ladder, see what it is, and how to stage it to where it comes out. We've already got a $500,000 under there for the next 5 months.
Yeah,
So we gotta look at the next 4, because the $500,000 drops off and you turn right back around, it's up and reinvest, or we put it back in our bank account.
Mhm.
So if you want to amend your motion,
so does my motion include the amount that we already have invested?
no, that's already done. That's
Okay, so I'm
This
gonna
is a
amend my
new- this is
motion
new.
to up to $1 million. Is that kosher with you, Madam Attorney?
Because that's at today's date.
Okay, as of today's date, yeah.
Joe?
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the table. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, moving on. New business. Jason, you have the floor.
The only thing that we got to approve for new business is, we need to get Danielle's, works and sewer improvements invoice paid. And that was for it was already figured in on the bond amount, and it was $5,000.
So moved.
Second. I have a first and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion approved.
I don't have a lot this month, and, we had 5 properties reconnected. That was due to, tax payments that came through. We had 0 properties disconnected. Penny and Davy were working a lot on collections, and they just got it up to the updated collection list that were being called in for utilities today to Scott. Those amounts of the past 2 amounts is $3,198.17. It's a little bit higher than usual, but it's something that we'd expect during the holiday season. But other than that, it was a normal month, had the holidays, a little bit more overtime. I didn't get I got a bunch of stuff going on since I've been back. We had a little bit more overtime than usual just because of the holidays, and, a smooth month.
Good deal.
I got a question for you. Did the end of the year wrap up the way you wanted it to? With
Yeah,
your bills and everything?
when you guys looked at the budget for, because Penny will still put those, approved amounts on, like you look at, contractual services and not so much materials and supplies, you'll see it in the red. And the only reason that is because we had some approvals at the end of the year for items that were probably in September, October timeframe that we had said, let's go ahead and pull this out of the improvement fund.
Mhm.
She still throws that in on our budget line items, so the stuff that we had line items for in the budget, we're good. Yeah, everything panned out really nice. Yeah, but you'll see like, Delville, contractual service was higher than usual. I mean, was in the red already in November, but those items that we approved, we had approved them out of the improvement fund, so she's.
Didn't come out of the budget. So it's mixed. What we approved from the improvement fund is showing up on the line item that we took it from, which created a negative.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, it's your turn.
The only thing I was going to send a letter to Chesterfield. Jennifer hadn't had time to get me the numbers on that yet. I did email her this week and asked her when I would expect those. She said they were hoping to get those to me this week. So instead of us making an adjustment on our February bill, it'll just be bumped back a month. So I can get those numbers and then get that notice out to Chesterfield. That is the quickest I've ever.
God almighty, I'm moving on. Ashley, get up there before she changes her mind.
Right, I'm up. Okay. So I wanted to give you some updated analytics on the email because when we sent out the report, they weren't quite updated analytics. So we had 726 opens on that email. 12 of those emails bounced. So either the emails aren't correct or maybe their email inbox is full. 3 unsubscribers, 19 unique clicks. So that's 19 like different people. Of those 19 different people, you did have 25 of those go to your payment portal. So they went directly to Invoice Cloud. You had 8 go to the YouTube. You had 3 go to holiday closings. And then you had a couple other hit Facebook and hit the homepage. We did a post on Joe and her being back on the board. And then we also did one on Overlook and then continued to keep up with some of the other just things going on when the due dates are for bills and all of that.
When you get the drawings for Roriton and we have come up, put something together for Roriton, if you would, and about the school and what we're doing over there. Once he's gonna get the traffic study design for with the bid, and that way we'll have something to put with it when we put out. Hopefully they do what he's thinking and go behind the dollar store and it's not gonna create much of a problem, but I wanna get as much notification as we can out there to them with all those school kids and everybody making the deal. We proactive and throw it out there well before they ever need it, and I wanna keep pounding it.
Scott and Riley today, Riley's Rob's guy underneath him, they had their first meeting with the approved contractor for the Rorton job. I wasn't able to get in on it. So we're still waiting for an anticipated start date, and I think that's one of the things we kind of talked about with Ashley was once we have that anticipated start date and we get more information, getting pushed out to her as quick as possible and getting it out there on social media and on our website as well.
Definitely. And like I said, once we get that traffic, that map, I want to get a copy of that map out there too, especially if they do something on Rorton Road instead of behind the dollar store, staying on.
So, they'll submit a schedule. Top drawing. Top drawing, we'll submit traffic control plan. All it for our review and consideration, have access to all that. If everybody's comfortable with it, then we'll sign off on it.
Good. Okay.
We may want to pretty that up. If you can pretty it up, I'm not asking these guys. They're
Yeah.
engineers, they draw straight lines.
Amazing thing with Bluebeam.
Mark, blue beam, you keep saying it, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, whatever. So,
Hey,
if we can,
Absolutely.
to our customers, tell me a little bit more about these numbers. Is that good, bad, indifferent, middle of the road? As you, as a marketing deal, and what's seen as the customer count that we have, you're seeing 726 open, 12 of them bounce, only 3, at 19 different, 25 to payment.
So as far as your open rate, I think your open rate's pretty phenomenal. I mean, your average is about a 45% open rate, which is pretty big for email. Click rates are never usually that big. So this click rate, and I think because we did have a few more blogs, we had a little bit more in it. You saw a little bit higher click rate in December than you did in November. November didn't quite reach 1%. This one was at like 1.3%. So I think when you have 25 clicks going to the payment portal, you hope that those are some people who haven't paid their bill and they were like, oh goodness, yeah, I'm late. I need to pay this. But I think your numbers honestly are quite good compared to some of the industry averages that you see out there.
Just curious. Anybody got any questions for Ashley? Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Jeannie, you got anything, or you just want to make a presence with you? I didn't know if the health department had anything. Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Commonwealth.
We touched on Roriton. As Jason mentioned, first, we have monthly construction meetings with contractor and the district. First one was today, this morning. We're still in, submittal review mode, getting material ordered, but as we discussed, once we have a preliminary schedule that we're all comfortable with, we'll get it to you guys so you can get it posted, same with the maintenance traffic plan. Beyond that, I received this morning the, performance and payment bonds and the insurance certificates from the contractor for the Overlook project. My office is in the process of assembling those into 3-ring binders. So you have a set, Danielle has a set, the contractor has a set, I have a set. Once we make sure they've properly submitted and signed off on everything, I'll kick it to Danielle so she can give it a once over. I would expect all this to be finalized prior to your February meeting, and I would rather not wait to get authorization for Bill to execute those construction contracts. If the board's amenable, I would request, a motion authorizing Bill to execute those contracts pending council's review and acceptance of them.
I'm good with that if you guys,
So moved.
I've got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion approved.
The only other thing, similar to what is happening with Royerton, we're gonna wanna give those folks a heads up too, because remember, we're gonna be up in their yards tearing out septic tanks and doing a bunch of other stuff. So there's gotta be a lot of, it's 11 homes, I get it, but there's gotta be some coordination on that one. as
Well, and also this is a dead end street where they got nowhere to go except somebody else's driveway or someone else's yard. Once they turn right off of the main road, they're in,
So
all the way there and back.
we're gonna have to deal with traffic control. We're gonna have to deal with, schedule and accommodating those folks. They got a life too, and they gotta get up and go to work and do their thing. We understand we're gonna be a disruption, but we wanna do our best to stay ahead of that one.
I don't think a bus goes down that road.
Depends on if there was any kids. I mean, it's Delaware, I don't know. That's one addition down from, 2 additions down. They got rain crest in between me.
Yeah.
Trash pickup, everything.
Yeah, 'cause trash pickup, that'll be another one. Going down through there, they gotta go all the way up and down through there. That's another one too. Going to a dead end.
If you, this
So we
is,
need- we
this
need
is
to-
small diameter pipe, right?
Right.
I don't have the plans in front of me, but I'd see like 2.5 or maybe 3-inch pipe for the force main. If you've gone through these neighborhoods and you've seen them, the telecommunications folks with their drill rigs drilling fiber conduit, that's kind of the setup that you can expect back along that street. Now, yeah, it's already, I don't know if it's 2-lane or 1.5 lanes, but we'll take up a little bit of space, but we'll make sure that we accommodate all the locals in that area.
Yeah, nobody needs extra stress.
I would, if I remember right, those are 20-foot wide roads over back there, edge to edge. There's no curb or gutter. It's just right in the yard.
But that's the size of the rig that they're probably gonna use to drill it.
How long will that one take?
I think we had only budgeted,
3 months, 9 months.
months on site.
I was gonna say.
They're
it
gonna
wasn't
get the pipe in the ground. Getting the electricians to wire everything up will take a little bit of time. The tanks, they'll probably come in with, a bobcat that's got an auger on the front of it instead of a bucket. They'll drill the holes and drop those tanks. They're 20-inch or 30-inch diameter fiberglass tanks. And they'll just zip them in, drop them down, then you gotta connect everything up. I think the longest is probably gonna be tearing all the old stuff out.
Yeah, so, and I mean, that will disrupt that property more so than it will the road and
Yeah,
traffic and
correct.
everything.
Yeah, they'll be in the yard
So
taking everything.
It'll truly be a short time when you have the boring, directional boring equipment in there.
Again,
That should take.
we had the meetings with the property owners and tried to explain a lot of this, but we're gonna wanna revisit that when we get closer.
Don't hesitate, get with Jason as soon as we get notice, and then he can coordinate with Ashley, and we can use it and get it blasted out on the website and on social media.
We'll do the same with Bill Will.
So you guys voted, right, on that other
Yep,
stuff?
they get it.
Is there anything we need to talk about on the Chevrolet dealership?
Not this time.
That's all I got.
Thomas, do you have anything? Brent? Does the board have any more business? Hasn't been addressed. I have nothing else left on my report. You good? Seeing nobody and nothing, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. First, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.